Hello and welcome to Organic Edible Garden
and Kitchen.
Our summer carrot bed, which is now smothered with weeds, has still got some great carrots in it for eating.
In the kitchen this week, I'm going to make a quick Asian pickle using Rob's carrots, along with some ginger and fresh turmeric. This is a great way to enjoy one of our most favourite vegetables.
And later on, Nellie's going to join us and talk about the benefits of eating carrots. And first up, I'm going to plant some Asian greens, pak choi or bok choy, which thrive in the cool weather. They're one of the fastest growing leafy green vegetables and are ready in about 4 weeks. Okay, let's go and pull some of these carrots up for you, Megan.
Right.
I really rate Asian greens. They're a brassica and are full of nutrients. And today we're going to plant some pak choys, otherwise known as bok choy. They're the same thing. These guys have to grow really quickly, so we have to give them great soil. Now, there was a tomato growing in this bed before, so the soil was quite acidic. And like most brassicas, these guys like a pH between 6.5 and 7, so I've given it a good dressing of lime a couple of weeks ago. I've also added some well-composted chicken manure and some normal compost as well, just to give it that extra boost. One of the things about the bok choy is that they are big attractants to slugs, snails and birds, probably more than any other vegetable we grow. So we will net this to keep the birds and the butterflies off, and we'll set some traps for the slugs and snails. If you are growing these in your veggie garden, they're often a good host trap. All your bugs will go to that and leave your other vegetables alone. And one of the reasons I'm growing red pak choi, which is like red kale, is that it's less attractive to the insects. They seem to always go for the green ones first. I expect to harvest these guys in about 4 weeks, and I can pick the leaves off as they're growing, but when they're ready, I'll chop them off about 1 inch above ground level. I'll get about 5 or 6 little baby bok choys growing on that stump, which is a real bonus.
Carrots are something that everybody loves. It's great to find new ways of serving them up. This is my simple pickle recipe. So I'm going to take Rob's carrots that he's grown here and top and tail them. So you could do this with baby carrots as well. This is a nice sized carrot to use. I don't tend to do this with very large carrots. Going to give them a quick wash. Just make sure they're nice and clean because we're going to leave the skin on. Don't need to peel them. If you're using baby carrots, just chop them in half. For these ones, I'm going to chop them into quarters. And place them straight into the jar. Now also make sure your jar's nice and clean. It's good to give it a little rinse out with some boiling water, just to keep it nice and sterile. I'm not using a sterilising jar because I'm just keeping these pickles in the fridge. This is what I call a quick pickle, or a quick overnight pickle. You can chop them to fit, for the size to fit in your jar. And that's all I can fit in that jar. You want to have them nicely packed, but it's not essential. You can just make as many as you would like. The next thing I'm going to do is add a bit of turmeric and ginger in there as well. So I'm just going to slice that. And we're not going to eat the ginger, so you want to leave it in quite big chunks. It's just going to be sitting in the brine to flavour up the carrots. And the same goes for the turmeric as well. Take this nice piece here. some down the sides. Here we go, and the last thing I'm going to pop in the jar is some star anise. So just a couple of pieces of star anise. Sitting on top there. Okay, next I'm going to take the pot, and this is our pickling liquid. I'm going to use brown rice vinegar and apple cider vinegar. I'm going to take half a cup of each. Brown rice vinegar adds a nice flavour to it. It's quite a mild vinegar, and it gives it a slightly Asian-y flavour to the dish. And apple cider vinegar is an excellent vinegar to have around. It's an alkalizing vinegar, so it has a good alkalizing effect on the body. So that was half a cup of each. And then I've got about a half teaspoon of salt and 1 cup of water. So the ratio for these pickles is usually 1 cup of water to 1 cup of vinegar. I'm going to pop that on the stove and bring that to the boil. I'm not trying to reduce them. So I'm taking the hot liquid and pouring it over the carrots. The heat from the liquid will bring out the flavours of the star anise and the turmeric and the ginger, and it will also help bring out the sweetness in the carrots. It is perfect for this jar. I'm going to leave these to cool before I pop the lid on, and I have some that I already made that I can show you. So these ones I made with some baby carrots. And you can see they've cooled around a little bit. They're kind of ever so slightly cooked from the hot liquid that's been in there, and they're deliciously sweet. That the heat from the liquid really brings out the sweetness in the carrot, and they're just delicious. I pop them in salads. At the cafes we make this beautiful green Vietnamese crepe, which we serve these inside because they've got those beautiful Asian flavours in there from the turmeric, ginger and star anise. They're also a wonderful accompaniment to a cheese board or just any dinner table.
Ooh, what have you been doing to these carrots?
I've been pickling them with some turmeric, ginger and star anise. They're the ones that we serve in the cafe on the Vietnamese crepe.
Oh, fantastic.
Do you want to try one?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're quite sweet. They're surprisingly sweet.
Delicious. So it's true what Meg says about most people loving carrots. And carrots are a really good finger food for kids. Most kids love them. And of course, do you remember what your mother used to say to you about make sure you eat up your carrots because then you get to see in the dark? And there's a lot of truth in that, because carrots are very high in the carotenoids, which are wonderful antioxidants and are great for eye health, particularly any degenerative eye conditions. So the dark orange and yellow foods have been shown to significantly reduce the risk of heart disease. So it's really important to eat as many as you can, because that will really lower your risk. The other thing about carrots is, apart from the carotenoids, they have these wonderful compounds called polyacetylines, which have been shown to reduce the clumping of your red blood cells, and that will impede blood flows. So very important for helping to reduce your risk in that respect. So these very protective compounds, as well as the high amounts of fibre in carrots, are really important for protecting your digestive system. And research has shown that that's really important for conditions like colon cancer. So making sure that you eat plenty of them is a really good idea. And finally, don't throw away the carrot tops. Put them in a smoothie, because they're really high in chlorophyll.